Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Midweek War. It's me, Mad Mike, rolling solo this week because I was watching hockey earlier, and some awesome things happened, so I had to watch Impact a little late. But we're here to talk Impact Wrestling, the first episode from India. Very cool they did that. My word for this episode is jet lag. Yeah, my word is jet lag because I'm not sure if the wrestlers were jet lagged or if I'm jet lagged for some reason because it was really boring, with the exception of a few things here and there. But we'll get into it. My good this week, I do have a good. Knockouts title match: Rosemary versus Laurel Van Ness. Really fun match. It was a very short segment, but seeing those two characters interact in a match is very interesting. I really dug it a lot. I would suggest watching it. It was a really cool thing to see. If you haven't seen Rosemary or Laura Van Ness before, definitely a good introduction to both their characters. Rosemary got the win because, they're in India. They're probably not going to do many title switches. They're probably going to do one, which I'll get to. But, yeah, so it was a fun segment, and Allie came out with a weapon. I'm not sure what the weapon was. It looked like a bundle of sticks, but it furthered the Allie Rosemary dynamic, which is kind of cool. I really dig it. Probably the best thing on this show this week, easily for me. And that's on a show where Joseph Park is breaking into the Impact offices. So I mean, it's a high bar. But not every show is perfect. Certainly not this one. My bad for this week is just boring matches. Just boring matches. I mean, they're perfectly fine matches, but they're boring. Davey Richards had a match against an Indian jobber. Don't even know who he is. We got to see Alberto El Patron versus Chris Masters, which was a hot match from 2010. We got to see Lashley versus Moose, which, okay. I think Moose wasn't used to wrestling matches that don't have 3-minute rounds again, because it was really boring. Loki versus Caleb Conley was fine, but again, just kind of, eh. If I had to change this week, God, I would change one of those world titles. I don't want to see Lashley versus Alberto El Patron in the slightest, like not even a little bit. I don't. Both their characters are completely uninteresting to me. They both do not have actual motivations. If I had to make a suggestion as to who I would put in the match, Lashley's fine as the Impact champion. I have no issues with Lashley as the world champion. He's playing the Brock Lesnar role very well. You can put EC3 in there. He's got real motivation. You can put Eli Drake in there. He's got real motivation. I don't know who else you'd put in there. I don't know who else. I'd say Rockstar Spud, but that's me. I'm a homer for Rockstar Spud. Yeah, all right. So other stuff that happened, we got to see a little bit of a training montage with Joseph Park and Jeremy Borash. Not nearly as funny as I want it to be. Not nearly as funny as I know they can be. The segment with Joseph Park basically breaking into the Impact office was very funny. But after that, it's just like I was hoping for Hulk Hogan and Mean Gene, or at least Vince and Shane training, and I got none of those things. Hopefully there's more stuff to come because we still have like at least 3 more shows until Slammiversary, which has been pre-recorded. But another cool thing I did want to talk about would have been my good had it not been for the women's segment. Sanjay Dutt. I'm guessing he's healed. He's wearing an eye patch. He came out in Mumbai, India. He spoke Indian to the crowd. The crowd popped huge for Sanjay Dutt. And Sanjay challenged Loki to an X Division title match next week. And that I'm supremely looking forward to, and I hope, oh, Impact, if you have a brain, you will switch the title on to Sanjay Dutt next week, because Sanjay Dutt's never held the X Division title before, and getting that big pop in India, that'll be awesome. That'll be really cool. That'd be a really cool moment for Sanjay Dutt. It's like watching Nakamura win the NXT title in Japan. Similar to that, I believe. But yeah, so I hope that happens next week. If it doesn't, I don't really know what we're doing with Loki or with the X Division title in general, but I guess we'll see next week. Other stuff that happened, they showed a couple of clips of like them traveling to India. Cool stuff, but I didn't tune into your show for a travel log. This isn't Tribute with the Troops. You're going to be there for a month of tapings. Like, you can spread this out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, EC3 came out and he whipped the jobber that Eddie Edwards beat up. They have to explain away why there are a lot of people not there. Like, Kongo Kong wasn't there, I don't think. The Pope wasn't there, which was interesting because we had JB and Josh on commentary, and they were told to behave, and they were told if there was any physicality, they'd both be fired. So hopefully that they weren't terrible on commentary this week. I will say that they were not terrible. They were not good, but they were not terrible. They showed Mahabali Shira interacting with people, which I guess would be kind of cool if he had any wrestling talent at all, which he doesn't. But yeah, it was an okay Impact. It was a little boring. I'm hoping they do some more fun stuff. Like, we saw the Mumbai Cats backstage. I've never seen them wrestle, but I've heard tell of them from Rinka King. I want to see the Mumbai Cats do things. Like, I want this to be fun, India, not boring Impact. Because honestly, if it wasn't for the Sanjay Dutt promo and the Indian ring announcer, this would just look like Orlando. Like, the feel of it. I expected a bigger feel for this, and I didn't get that. I hope it changes in the upcoming weeks. Probably won't, but we'll see. As far as rankings go, it didn't beat out anything. Impact's still number 4 this week. Maybe if the title matches were more exciting, maybe if people I want to see get title matches were in it instead of Moose and Chris Masters. But yeah, so you can find me at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine. You can also find me at Mayhem Show. Look for the hashtag MM for when I live tweet Impact, because I do live tweet Impact whenever I get around to watching on Thursday nights. If I'm working or if there's a game going on, I'll watch it later. But generally, I pretty much I always watch it Thursday nights and come to you guys right afterwards. And yeah, so join our Facebook group. You can engage with us there. If you have any thoughts about Impact, if you're watching Impact for the first time because it was from India, please email me goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. And yeah, so we'll catch you next week on the Midweek War.